What if you let your dice build your deck for you? That is what I have done for this video. Well, kind of. I have done a chaos deck build scenario for a Wonders of the First deck. Basically, I created a chart, I roll some dice, and it tells me the parameters within what I have to build my deck. I think it's a pretty exciting idea. I'm really interested to see what I roll. And it's going to be really interesting to see how everything goes and how everything plays out, whether or not what I build can actually be a viable deck based on how chaotic this deck actually is. I could build something from a extremely viable, maybe even competitive deck to a piece of garbage that is good for laughs and giggles and is just fun because you get to watch me struggle over building it. So I'm really excited to see how this goes. If y'all like this idea, please subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and watch the rest of the video. If not, let me know in the comments. I won't continue to make more videos like this. If you have any requests for deck building parameters that you want me to do in the future, maybe I can do some of that. So that's kind of what today is going to be, and let's go ahead and get rolling. Let's see what the dice are going to give us for a deck. The first thing that we are going to roll is a d6 to determine how many orbitals need to be in our deck, or more accurately, how many dice we are going to roll for what orbitals are going to be in our deck. So we're going to start by just rolling 1d6. And that is a 3. So I'm now going to take 1, 2, 3 dice and roll. We got a 6, a 6, and a 6. Y'all, I did not make this up. We rolled 3 6s. So this is going to be a boundless only deck. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to roll is going to be a d4 like this for what DBS bracket this deck is going to be. So let's see what we get. 4 is going to be Immortal, Unlimited DBS. That could definitely prove interesting depending on what we roll for our Chaos. Chaos is a D10. There are 10 options that this could end up being, and I'm just going to go ahead and read them to you. If I roll a 1, a critical failure, I will only be able to have commons in my deck. It's going to be kind of complicated with an Immortal DBS. If I roll a 2, at least half the cards must have flavor text. If I roll a 3, I cannot have any meta combos. If I roll a 4, I cannot have the first. If I roll a 5, I have to include my favorite wonder. If necessary, this can take me outside my orbital. So if my favorite card, for instance, typically I say my favorite card is Chained Crow. That means that I have to put Chained Crow in, and I can't put in a Boundless Land, so now I just have to work around a useless card in my deck. If I roll a 6, at least half the cards in my deck must be from the same artist. If I roll a 7, all the cards have to be under 5 formless energy. If I roll an 8, I can have no spells. If I roll a 9, I can have no items. And if I roll a 10, that's what this 0 is. It's my critical success. I can build a deck that follows the rules for limited building. AKA, I can have more than one legendary. The rules for primary, secondaries, and legendaries don't apply. Core rules don't apply. So let's see what chaos I am bringing to myself in this deck today. That is a 6. So at least half of my deck must be from the same artist. Now, we have 3 more rolls left to make. The first is this D20. I'm going to roll it, and it's going to tell me how many lands I get. So, let's see. It rolled off screen, so I'm just going to roll that again so that y'all can see what this rolls. You know what? maybe it doesn't want to roll on screen. So let's roll it towards the phone. All right. That is a 15. Now I got to put 15 lands in a boundless only deck. I make chaos for myself. Y'all, remind me why I do this when you make this video. Tell me that you like this video, please, because this is going to be a lot of brain power. So my last two rolls are going to be a D4. Odds is yes, and evens is no. So if I roll a 1 or a 3 on this roll, I get to have mythics in my deck. That is what we are hoping for with our immortal DBS. Come on. 3, I can have mythics. The next roll is for epics, same thing. If I roll a 1 or a 3, if I roll an odd, I can have epics in my decks. If I roll an even, I cannot. Heart of the dice, heart of the dice. And that is a 1, y'all. So I can have mythics and epics. That's going to make things a whole heck of a lot easier. So that's the dice rolls for today. Now let's get just starting on that building. So now we know what we're building. We are building a boundless only, immortal, must have a bunch of the same artist, can have mythics, can have epics, 15 lands card deck. So because of the special restriction that I need artists, that information is not in Cardi.io to my knowledge. So I'm going to be using OpenSea a little bit. And just so y'all know, I'm going to go ahead and flick through here and show you how to navigate. I know that I need orbital, not orbital class, give me orbital. I need boundless, and I need set name, existence. So this is going to show me all the cards, all 67 cards that are in the existence set that are also in boundless, that are also boundless cards. Now, I am 99% certain of something, and that is that Rommel did a crap ton of the cards in boundless. And so what I'm going to do is check that. I'm going to go to artist, and then I'm going to go to Rommel, and then I'm going to filter again. And look at that, 51 out of the 67. This is going to make my life a little bit easier than I thought with that chaos dice roll. Pardon me, I'm going to be talking a lot, so I'm going to be sipping my lovely Fanta while I make this video. So this should make things a little easier because I think purely by the nature of the fact that this is a boundless only deck, and Rommel did, what's 51 divided by 67? 76.119403% of the cards. I think that I will just luck into that being easy. But I will come in here and check, see how that's going, once we've got the deck kind of really built. And so what I'm going to use is the Cardi.io, the Wonders Codex to build a deck. I'm going to go to my decks. I've got a couple of my decks that I'm working on, / using, / in the process of building in here. But I'm going to go to build a new deck. And for those of you who don't know how to build a deck in Cardi.io, you should, and here's a lesson on how you can do it. I'm going to go ahead and do, I think I want settings. Come on. Sorry, y'all, my Wi-Fi is a little slow. And I'm going to call this the Chaos deck. We know that it is an immortal format. Which of these looks real boundless? This one. This one's going to be our art. It just makes sense. And I will make this one public so that y'all can see it. I tend to keep my decks on private because I prefer my decks on private. That's just the kind of person that I am. So now if we go back to deck, I believe those settings should save. So if we go back to deck, there's a couple things that we know. The first is that we are only going to be using cards from Boundless. So I'm going to click this good old Boundless icon so that only cards from Boundless are showing up. And then I can filter further by all of these various different things. And for now, I don't really need to do that. I am just going to kind of flick through here. Let's see. I am most familiar with Ascend as the mechanic. And it's the mechanic that I've played with the most in Boundless, so it's probably what I'll start with. Let's see. Your cards can't be nullified. This can't be nullified. Add to main deck. So just for reference, y'all, the way my brain works in deck building is I put a bunch of stuff into the deck, and then once I've got too many cards and I'm done looking at all the things, I filter stuff back out because it makes it easier for me to go, what do I want and what don't I want? So we're just going to go ahead and put a celestial counter on target wonder. Wonders with select. Ooh, we like that. Add to main deck. It's a legendary, so we can do one. Lunar Empowerment is gonna be phenomenal, so we're gonna want 2 of those. Oh, I don't know if y'all can hear her, but I am the only one at the house, so the puppy has come to find me. She's not really a puppy, but I call her a puppy even though she's like 4 years old. So she may come say hi, she may not, but you'll probably hear a little bit of background noise from her wandering around. She does not like to be alone. Let's see. Myra Vore, at the beginning of each odd numbered round, you return a spell with cost 3 or less from the abyss to your hand. Sure, I will take 2 of those. What may be easier is for me to just go ahead and put 2 of all these cards with Ascend on them in my deck, or however many I get. 1, 1, 2. Come on. Okay, I'm at the bottom of this list. Let's try this. I have my phone is being propped up by my computer, so sometimes I can't see everything. Vortexus is a primary. And Zinnik Azimuth is a primary. Now, what will support me in my quest to make the ultimate Ascend Boundless deck? Because that is the theme that we're going off of right now. Let's put a cast out in there. It may be helpful. And I do need to remember that I need 15 lands. So let's go ahead and look at the lands. Because if I need 15 of these boys, then I need to figure out what 15 are going in my deck. Of course, we are going to start with a Market of Lost Wonders. Phenomenal card, and it's going to make my life a lot easier if I can gain actions and energy. I know that I want Celestium Heights. 1, 2, 3. We're now at 4. I definitely want 3 of Eclipse Enclave. 1, 2, 3. I can't read Lightforge without moving my phone, so let's search it. We'll just do it this way. 1, 2, 3. And then I can go back to preview. And it will tell me that I have 12 lands. So I know I need a couple more, 3 more lands. So I'm going to come back over here to deck. And I'm going to re-plug in Boundless. And I'm going to re-plug in land. Sure. I'll take another Duration Frontier. Add another there, and add that. And then we'll go to preview. 15, but something is wrong. Ah, I can't have 3 Xenic Azimuths. Because he is a primary wonder. I'm all good on my lands, and I have 15 of them. The question is, are these the 15 that I want? Okay, I want 3 Celestium Heights, and I know I want 3 Eclipse Encaves. I knew that without even looking at them. Lightforge. It's really good long game with Ascend, Duration Frontier. Oh, 2 of those. Yeah, I think this is the breakdown that I want. So as you can see, this has this really cool make it bigger and make it easier to see thing. You just have to leave your pointer where it is. Otherwise, the card goes away that I just showed you that it does that like 3 times in a row because I'm a smart cookie. So we are already at 37 cards. And so what I need to do is continue to just keep going back in and figuring out what some more good cards would be. I'm not going to worry about tokens right now. Actually, let's look at some metrics real quick. I have a bunch of 0 cost cards, of course I do. I have a bunch of lands. So I'm going to want to aim to keep my costs in these 2, 3, 4 range. That's just my personal opinion of how many things that I prefer a lower cost deck, and I prefer the high cost cards to be a special thing that I play later game when I know I have the energy. So we're back to Boundless Lands, back to Boundless Everything. Whenever an opponent attacks in any realm, I don't feel like I need that. Comet Cleaver I like. Let's add 2 of those. Cosmic Cataclysm would be nice. Whenever an on-arrival effect triggers, maybe 1. We like anything with attuned, so we will take 3 Divine Conduits. I don't know how I feel about Enlightenment. While it is nice for me, it is nice in niche situations where I'm not being out-actioned anyway. The Space Lich won't really help me. This would be nice, though. Ethereal Warden. Oh, Evil Kitty. Am I putting Evil Kitty in this deck? Yes, I am. I'm not gonna be so mean as to put in Galactic Sovereign Throne. I realize that Evil Kitty is probably worse than Galactic Sovereign Throne, but like, you have the ability to spend money. It's like paying the one in Magic to spend formless energy. You do not have that option with Galactic Sovereign Throne. Gravitational Grasp could be nice. Sorry, y'all. When I'm thinking, I make noises and sing songs, so y'all are gonna get that occasionally. I know that I like Knievel Wayfarer, but is it good in this deck? That is the question, everyone. Is it good in this deck? Probably not. What else? Already got Nexus. I will take some Graveyard Recursion. As much as I love Open the Cosmos, I don't think I'm running any big enough spells to make it worth it. We do like this. Henry, are you getting in my chair? Okay, sweet pea. At some point, she will try and climb up in my lap, and then y'all will get to see her on camera. But today is probably not that day. Ooh, Quantum Boots. I forgot about Quantum Boots making Wonders attuned. What else? Serious Aether Braid. Really great. Really strong. I don't know that that's the game that I want to play. I like Stellar Harmony tea set, but it's not my cup of tea and will not go well in a Ascend deck. Temporal Harmony Clock could be a good backup win con. Like Skyseeker Twins, but they're not gonna help me that much. If opponent gains control of any of your stones this round, target player gains control of one of those stones. I will take a Time Hop. Probably only one of them. Oh, I gotta remember what Syndra does. Powerful, evil, and annoying. We will leave it in there. So now, let's look at this. I have way too many cards in this deck. 63. I need to take out 13. And there's a lot. If we look at the metrics, I've got a lot in this curve. I should probably look at some of the 4-cost cards, taking them out. I got a decent number of 2 costs. I don't love that there's a ton of 7 costs. I'm pretty evenly distributed across here, except, you know, I have a crap ton of wonders, but that's not really a surprise. So first we need to make sure that we are meeting all of our criteria. We are definitely in our immortal DBS. We have 15 lands. We have only boundless. We have mythics and ethics if I want to use them, which I believe I did. And let's look back at this. Let's see what is missing. So let's do this the easy way. Artist, Jeffrey, Okay, so Starper and Capra, Time Hop, Ethereal Warden. I didn't use Divine Breach. Alright, I do not have 25 cards that are among any versions of copies of these. So I'm good. I just gotta make sure that I continue to make choices that help me align with that as I'm choosing what cards to get rid of. I am gonna start by looking at the wonders because 29 is a lot of wonders. I'll come back to Etherean. I like Garonis Cygnus. I have used him to win several games playing the orbital starter deck from Boundless. Oddly enough, I have never actually played Icarian, even though I've played that deck several times. Lunar Empowerment is a spell. Myra Voray. I think I only need one of those. Missoula Majoris. Low cost. Easy peasy. I don't need 2 Nexus Phagebringers based on what I want to do with this deck. If I have 2 of her, I can pick odds and evens, so we'll stick with that. Definitely want Rigel, Valkyria Valorum, good card, Flying Anderson, and it costs 3. Definitely want. For 5 and that specific ability, I probably only need 1 of Vortexus. Zinnik Azimuth can be extremely powerful. Here's all my lands. Crystal Silk Spider. Whenever on arrival effect triggers, if this is untapped, you may tap it. If you do, nullify that on arrival effect. It's very niche, but it can be very helpful. Ethereal Warden. I'm gonna take it down to 2. Feline Entity of Dreams, Evil Kitty. I don't need to run 3 copies of him. It's kind of just evil at that point, in my opinion. Like, this is banishing and taxing is not really my specific way to play. So part of this is me building a deck that is something that I might actually play. So I'm not necessarily building the biggest, baddest, most powerful deck that I possibly could. I'm building a deck that I would enjoy playing. And so there is that to keep in mind with this as well. So Nocturnal of the Lost, I'll go down to 1. How are we doing? 57. Let's look at Zindra. Extremely powerful. I'm okay having one of her. So I need to cut 7 more cards, y'all, and they can't come from my lands. So let's go look at our spells. Lunar Empowerment. Primary spell. We're definitely keeping 2 of those. Let's look at Cast Out. This is one that I'm not sure of. Look at the top 2 cards of... Damn it. Look at the top 2 cards of player's library deck. Player's deck, banish any number of them and put the rest back in any order. Draw a card. That's nice. I don't really need it in this deck. Cosmic Cataclysm. For 8, create 4 power angel. Create a 4 power angel token with flying in up to 3 different realms. Gain 2 free attacks. I like that more for the free attacks than for the than for the angel tokens, but I am gonna let it stay. What about Divine Conduit? I can live with less of those. Look at Gravitational Grasp. I don't have very many tap and untap, so I think that I will go down to 2 of those. Let me just, because I think most of these are triggered abilities rather than tap abilities. But I'll keep 1 copy just in case. Let's look at Punish. Pretty good. I think I do want to keep that one. If an opponent gains, I'll keep 1 of those. I just need to take out 3 more cards. Quantum Boots. Okay, then I need to go look at Comet Cleaver. I'm going to take out Punish. I do not need 3 punishes. So I need to take out 2 more cards. This is the hardest part of the whole deck building process. It is figuring out what to take out when you're taking out most of the fluff, as I like to call it, the stuff that's not super helpful to you. And then you have to start cutting the extra stuff. So this is where it might slow down for a minute. I may do this part. I may cut a little bit of this. Just depends on how long I sit here thinking and staring at the computer, because y'all don't want to watch that, I don't think, of me just going, It's not the most entertaining thing in the world. Let's see. Let's look at Ethereum. Nullify is very unique to Boundless, and it's mostly protecting. I can live without that. It's also going to bring my average formless energy cost down. Yeah, see, we're doing better already. Alright. I think that should leave me with 1 more card. 51. And then I'm going to go... There's a fly in here, and it's going to bother me. I'm going to look for 1 more card to take out, and then I will go fish some tokens. I can live without a 3rd Quantum Boots. That is what I can live without. So if we look at that, we've got a 50 card deck. But its DBS is not high enough. Darn it. What happens if we add back Ethereum? Interesting, it is not enough. Oh, but wait. I can add Aether Valkyr, which is the angel that I want in my deck. And it will bring up my DBS. You see here, I'm at 1194. Part of that is my tokens. These Aether Valkyrs are the only ones to have a DBS value because of how stinking powerful they can be. Oh, oops. But what I do need to do is put them in my token deck, not in my normal deck. Because otherwise I have 53 cards. Alright, so oh, that's interesting. They don't register as having DBS if they're in my token deck. Interesting, interesting. So I need 15 more points. And if we go here, so I really need something that will cover for whatever I'm taking out. Although I know that I have an additional 9 DBS. Let's put in a Comet Cleaver. I cannot put in a Comet Cleaver. How can we make this DBS? Let's add in the Galactic Sovereign Throne. And then take out something. Let's take out a Time Hop. It's not necessary. So 1197 plus the 9 DBS in here puts me over, is it 12 or 1250? Maybe it's 1250. Settings, it's 1250, isn't it? Y'all have been laughing at me as I think about this. Yeah, so I need a bunch more points. Okay, there we go. That was quick and easy and not my favorite thing, but it was quick and easy, and I think we've got it. So, we've got a Chaos deck. It is done. It only took me 30 minutes that y'all are probably not enjoying watching, but so much. So here's my chaos deck. Here's what I'm thinking. I like to play test a deck before it really goes anywhere, but I recognize that this video is long already. If y'all like these chaos deck ideas, I think what could be a cool idea is for me to do another chaos deck or something kind of chaotic at the request of y'all, and then play these against each other, play those two decks against each other. I can probably rope my dad in for that. I know that he's always down for a game of wonders. So let me know what you think. As always, please like, comment, subscribe, and keep being your wonderful selves.